We have a new ban list for the OCG, and we all know that the OCG ban list, more than the TCG, is very influential on Master Duel's ban list and what's going to happen in the near future, possibly. Speaking of Master Duel's ban list, I want to predict Master Duel's ban list within this video also. So this will be a two-part video. And where is Master Duel's ban list? So let's predict first when it's even coming out. So we go on over to articles, we type in Forbidden. And I think on page 3 over here we go. December 26th, 2022, Master Duel Forbidden ban list last year. And as of this recording, it's December 27th. So where the heck is our ban list? This ban list was on a Monday, and now it's Wednesday, 27th. And if we were to go back to this ban list, it was kind of a hefty one. So maybe we'll be experiencing something this large on the ban list I'll be predicting. But before that, let's look at the OCG ban list, looking at YugiOhMeta.com, which will be released soon, I promise. We're looking at February for a release. Now, before we go into the OCG ban list, let's see what the meta is in OCG. Could look at the last month for TCG or since the past set, so it's looking like that. I've commented multiple times that decks like Unchained and Mannadium are not doing that well in OCG because of Max C. So, and then we see Mannadium not doing that well in Master Duel at the moment, but it is missing a ton of support. And it worries me for decks like Unchained that they may not be that good. But let's look at the OCG anyway. So we have the last month, 2,500 players. We could look at the post-set, main core set that happened. These are the top decks on what's doing well. And there's a lot of unfamiliarity here. Just looking, Snake Eye, Infernoid, what the heck? Voiceless Voice? I don't think I've ever even heard of that before. All right, well, let's see what the ban list is and let's find out what's going on in the game. So, ban list time. Boom. January 1st will be the ban list date. And just like that, right off the bat, we have Unlimited from 0 to 3, Gandora X, the Dragon of Demolition. Now, this says this card has received an errata to match its TCG card text. I'm not too familiar with that. I don't know if they nerfed the card or just added better clarity, but this card has, from my memory and looking it up, has no real tournament tops, maybe a locals, and it's all about inflicting first turn kill damage. It's a burn damage card, and that's why it was banned. I guess they were worried about what it could do and not what it did do. So you look at Gandor FTK, you know, there's a, hey, why was this banned? Maybe on Reddit they'll say why. Master Duel OCG effects. Oh, okay. So it did have an errata to actually nerf the card. That is good to see. So now let's go back on over. So I guess that they, after nerfing it, it's okay to be playing it. Let's go on down. And as you can see here, it has been allowed in TCG, and I don't think it's been doing anything. Well, I could say it hasn't. Tri-Brigade Fractal from 2 to 3. This card was very popular in Tri-Brigade Sprite. In most recent best performance of Tri-Brigade, that is how it's been used. And Sprite's been really messed up recently to the point that it's not worth it to be restricting the Tri-Brigade cards. If you look at the TCG status of Sprite, looks like not much has been really going on besides the Elf. And then if we also type in Toad, Toad is banned in OCG and Master Duel, but I think they also, yeah, Ronin Toadin is banned. Now let's click on OCG. Boom. And just like that, Blue, Jet, Starter, all limited to 1. Totally awesome band. Elf band, Substitute, limited 1 TCG, interestingly. So this is why it's okay to just whip out the Tri-Brigade cards again, because the deck was really techable in other decks. So pure Tri-Brigade, that's fine. Sky Striker Mobilize. This is actually exciting. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. This is exciting because this is what we talk about, the OCG ban list predicting the future of Master Duel. It is the first format unlimiting Engage, which means to me, we should be expecting this soon. The OCG ban list was after TCG. Maybe the next TCG ban list will be unlimiting this, and maybe the Master Duel ban list tonight or the next day, or maybe next month we're going to have to wait. They maybe want to see how well this does in OCG. This will be unlimited. So that would be good to see, right? Let's see how Sky Strikers are even being played. We got the TCG stats and some OCG stats. Let's click on Sky Striker right here. The TCG page, anything too different from Master Duel from my memory? I don't think so. Hornet Drone's still limited to 1. It's too techable in any deck, being able to play Engage, Hornet Drones, and Kagari. Okay, yep, that's going to be good. We have some top 8 regionals. Now, OCG. I'm seeing some new cards here. What? Sky Striker Ace Camellia, And then you're also using Promethean Princess, in some of their builds, not all of them. Okay, let's go. Oh, what is this? Rumble Tufel. I'll be reading that later. Interesting. Now, back to the ban list. Dragonic Diagram. 2 to 3. This is support for True Draco. Very nice. True Draco was a really accessible deck on the release of Master Duel. It still is. It's just not as good anymore. And I do think decks like this should definitely exist to make Master Duel overall and Yu-Gi-Oh! A more accessible game. I think new players should be encouraged to play decks like these. I'm not a big fan of Floodgates in general, and I know the deck's been abusing Floodgates, but still, easy to pick up, easy to play. Any deck that doesn't use their extra deck is going to generally probably be easy. We type in True Draco to see the status. What's going on here? True Draco, the Calamity. I don't really see this as a True Draco card. But the Masterpiece True Draco Slaying King, I heard that this made the deck really easy for, newbies in Yu-Gi-Oh! They were all doing well with this card, right? You tell me. I don't have much experience. Could this maybe be coming off the ban list soon? Probably not. And the Dragonic Diagram, okay, up in OCG now completely unlimited. TCG, limited to 1. So this is another card that, just like the Engage, this could be coming off of the ban list for Master Duel. Look forward to it. Fluandereeze. Now, I know this may sound redundant, but Konami, NA, and Europe, they are separate from Konami Japan. They have nothing to do with Master Duel. So when I say that Konami Japan puts Fluandereeze's map from 2 to 3, they are the ones in full control of Master Duel. Konami NA, they don't even know what is going on in Master Duel. So when I leak new Master Duel cards coming, Konami NA, they don't even know the cards that I'm leaking. So on top of that, just further going into what I'm trying to say here is that I'm thinking Konami Japan may start unlimiting Fluandereeze in Master Duel. I know the meme has been that Fluandereeze keeps on getting hit in Master Duel unfairly because let's click on the card. Let's see the status of what's going on with the deck here. Let's look at TCG and OCG. The deck's fairly unrestricted here. Triple Potta P. Oh my, can you believe it? Triple Potta D. Triple Dimension Shifter. In TCG, it's at the best it could be. We click on OCG, 2 Potta E, even though they could play it at 3, limited to 1 in Master Duel, semi-limited Shifter, that's good. But we have Terraforming Band. Oh, they also have Potta P limited to 1. But what's crazy is Empin, limited to 1 Empin. And the Field Spell, Fluandereeze map, limited to 1. I'm a big fan of Fluandereeze. I think a lot of people have leftover hate because of the barrier statue. The deck was known for just brain dead summon barrier statue. Thankfully, they banned it in all 3 formats. But again, on the topic of True Draco, I'm seeing a theme here. Unrestricting accessible decks like Fluandereeze and True Draco. No matter what you think about these decks, I think they are good for the game. Again, Floodgates aren't good for the game. Really, it does make it more accessible for new players, but easily accessible decks that do not use the extra deck, that is good. We need more of them. We're getting Nemrulia soon. I leaked that deck, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to be that good. All right, let's keep on going. Change of Heart from 1 to 2. So a big thing we were saying about Change of Heart is that it could go to 2 in Master Duel, but maybe not to 2 in OCG and TCG because they have side deck. And that's what this card usually resides in. And because Master Duel does not have a side deck, it's a bigger risk to main deck a card that's only good going second. Literally does nothing going first. And okay, so OCG is just freeing this up. Mind Control was a card that recently became unlimited everywhere else. Similar to Change of Heart, but you can't declare an attack or tribute the monster you take control of. You could do whatever you want with the monster you Change of Heart, though. Very nice. Let's keep on going. My Friend Purely. From 3 to 2. This is kind of interesting. I know a lot of people have strong feelings when cards get semi-limited. They feel like that's a fake hit. I really don't agree with that, but let's see how the deck's being built here. Look at the TCG stats and the OCG. They have Sleepy semi-limited, Memory limited to 1. But if we look at OCG, pretty much the same deal. Limited 1, Sleepy, semi-limited, Delicious. These made sense because in order to directly search these cards, you had to reveal 3 copies of them to guarantee it to go to your hand with the effect of My Friend Purely. Now, with My Friend Purely, you would directly search it with Lily. So semi-limiting this is not the same as hitting delicious or sleepy. So what is the point of this? I think it's not about my friend Purely. It's about the Purely street. By reducing the consistency of opening up the my friend Purely, you then reduce the chance of Lily searching for street instead of my friend, since you already have it, which gives you the blanket protection on all your special summon monsters. They cannot be targeted by card effects. So now you just really have to go in on this card. And if they were to limit this to one, then, imperming the Lily also becomes more beneficial. Even this card being semi-limited, imperm on Lily's a good play, Ash on my friend. So yeah, I'm sure many of you have imperm Lily, which was correct, and then they activate my friend from the hand anyway. So, making counterplay more accessible, very nice. And then the chance for just the regular Purely to rip one off the top of the deck if you negate the Lily. So sure, okay, it's not a big hit, but you should feel it a little bit. Over 100 or 1,000 duels, the stats will go down on the win rate, definitely. Now, let's keep on going. There could be only two. Okay. TCG 1, OCG 2, Master Duel 2. This is disappointing to me because they didn't put it to 1, which means it's probably not going to go to 1 in Master Duel. Why are they holding back? Cards like these are toxic, but again, it does make it easier for new players to win in Yu-Gi-Oh! You give them floodgates, give floodgates to a 12-year-old child, they'll be beating world champions randomly, and that's just how it is. I wish there were better ways to go about that, but, unfortunately, this is Konami's answer to making the game more accessible, but I don't really agree with it. Let's keep on going. Big Welcome Labyrinth. Wow, generally this card is searched for or set from the deck, so this being semi-limited, I have a different take on this than the My Friend Purely, where that was being able to negate the Lily and they don't get to open up with it, and then they don't get to have a street on top of it. I think this affects the grind game. Because if the duel goes to turn 3 or beyond, which generally it does with a Welcome Labyrinth deck, they are going to be going through all copies of their Big Welcome. And it's not easily recycled with the lovely Labyrinth that returns your trap from the graveyard back in the field, because you then want to banish this card from the grave for its second effect to spin any card in the field back. And now having only 2 copies, you can only really safely banish one for that additional effect, and then you may have to just leave the other one in your grave to recycle with lovely. So that is quite interesting. Let's see how the deck's being built also. TCG, of course, is being played at 3. Plunder, Patrol, Labyrinth. I love that deck so much. And here is the analytics here. Arius is a card that we do not have in Master Duel yet, and this is the TCG stats. But if we look on over to the OCG, okay, yeah, they have this new card, the Transaction Rollback. I believe I have not practiced with this or looked into it too much, but based off reading it a while ago, it looks like the main use of this card is discarding it with your furniture cards, and then using its second effect. Banish this card from the graveyard, pay half your life, target a normal trap in your grave, copy its effect. Like, that's insanity. That's crazy. That's so good. Oh my Jesus. Wow. Looking forward to that. Yeah, so Labyrinth is, and if we look at the tier list here under OCG, let's do the past since the core set here. Labyrinth is a top 3 deck. And so that's a big reason for the Big Welcome to be hit. They also have the Transaction Rollback, which makes the deck better than it is in TCG and in Master Duel. So we could look forward to that card maybe soon. Okay, nice, makes sense. A little bit of a hit, tiny one. Newly limited, Redox from 0 to 1. This is a nice card to reborn cards in the graveyard. All the Dragon Rulers are basically level 7 turbo to go into Galaxy Tomahawk. Let's see the status of Dragon Rulers in all the formats, though. Dragon Ruler Redox is banned in TCG and in OCG. It's fully, all these cards are limited to 1 or better in Master Duel, and it's really not doing that much. Even the smaller Dragon Rulers, back in my day, these all got banned, and all the Dragon Rulers were limited to 1, and the deck was still top tier, tier 1. But we are in a completely different version of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. So even with Tomahawk, it is unrestricted in OCG and in Master Duel. And then the Tomahawk is connected to the Aurora Dawn. Aurora Dawn also unrestricted in OCG and Master Duel. Okay, yeah, so that, they see that it's not been doing much, so why not? Ib, the World Chalice. This was just unrestricted in TCG. This is a prediction for Master Duel. It's going to get unrestricted probably on the next ban list, if not the one after that. Because, we do get monthly ban lists. And, a lot of people like to reference the stockholder meeting of a random guy investor saying to whoever's leading the meeting, hey, Yu-Gi-Oh's not accessible. What are you going to do? And I think he just politely responded, oh, yes, we're working on it. Don't worry, we're working on it. When you unban cards like this, I don't think you're working on it, because this equates to a very long turn one, a ton of special summoning. And in fact, it's even kind of a linear combo. This is going to be added to Dragon Link, and you can now one card. You normal summon the Draconet. Draconet, one card will special summon a tuner. It'll make the Ib. And then from that, you're going to be able to make a Borland. Borland, how do we spell Borland? There we go. You're going to make a one-card Borland. You may be thinking, okay, Dragon Link already does that. Who cares? But after making the Borland, you still have the Boot Sector launch and Ravine and an unused Rocket Tracer in your hand. Like, you don't even have to. You have Borland, and then you get to start your Dragon Link combo after making a Borland. That's what this does. But, maybe Maxi keeps this in check. And if that were the case, why was it limited to one in TCG? This is why I'm really interested how well this does in the TCG, more so than the OCG, because of no Max C. That's going to be interesting. Heavy Storm. Oh my gosh. Back in my day, 10, 15 years ago, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. What you would do is called Pro Heavy. Pro Heavy is because the entire format revolved around Heavy Storm. You're playing against a bad player if they turn one, set two back row. You couldn't do that because everyone was playing Heavy Storm. You wipe out their two back row, they -1, that's it. They're now going to lose the duel. So what's a Pro Heavy Storm? Pro Heavy Storm is when bluffing was a lot more relevant in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is complexity through simplicity, where there weren't long, crazy combos. There was more mind games with you and your opponent. You would turn one, set your Heavy Storm. That's right. I mean, it puts it at risk, right? That's wild. Why would you do that? Well, because you set your Heavy Storm, now your opponent could safely set two or more. They set two or more cards, you flip up your Heavy Storm, and now you pro-heavied them. That was some crazy mind games. And because of, this card being so prevalent, Starlight Road was then released later. So Pro Heavy was before Starlight Road summoning a Stardust Dragon, negating the Heavy Storm. But the question here is, Feather Duster has been unbanned for a while. So why Heavy Storm? Well, it also destroys your own cards. So are there some cool combos that this is being used with? There wasn't really. I think Konami was just afraid to unrestrict this because of maybe they had to worry about creating future deck types that would make Heavy Storm too broken or something. And I guess, this is now searchable with Triple Tactics Thrust. So if there actually is a viable, let's say, turn two strategy, which is, of course, when you'd be using this, thrust this into the hand, set something activatable in the back row. So what would be a good example? If I were playing Tearlament, I think I would want to play this card, right? The Tearlament spell and trap cards that you want to get popping, all of them pretty much activate. Crime, Meta Noise, Scream, Sulliek, set them, Heavy Storm, and then, extend your combos and plays. And let's look at what the artifact cards say. Artifact Lancia. Let's open this up so I could be more exact on this. This says, if this set card in the spell and trap zone is destroyed and sent to your graveyard, sent to your graveyard spell and trap cards. So let's look at that. Maybe there's going to be something broken we could find. Sent to your graveyard, spells. Is there anything that activates, this would activate in the end phase? Doesn't look like anything crazy triggers here. Let's see trap. Maybe you all have a better term to be searching up. We have, what did the Twister say? Twister, Tornado. Tornado maybe had better wording that we could use. Wild Tornado. This says that if this card is sent to the graveyard, target one face-up card in the field, destroy it. So I guess you could Heavy Storm this. That's just an example of what you could do. Sent to the GY trap. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you see a Security Orb? Yeah. If sent to the graveyard, but by your opponent. So that doesn't work with Heavy Storm. I really don't know. You got to tell me what cool combos and plays. Maybe as I'm scrolling, I could see the Shadow Core. That's something. If sent to the graveyard, recycle a shadow card in the grave. Yep, that's something. So maybe it's not going to really have a broken strategy with Thrust and cards that you want to destroy in the back row beyond tier limits. Okay, now let's keep on going. We have Emergency from 3 to 1. It could be confusing, maybe for some of you that only play Master Duel, to see cards getting restricted that are not even released in Master Duel yet. I think that shows you objectively that this is what you should be looking forward to. If you ever ask or are wondering, what's good? What's a good deck? What should I save my gems for? Whatever is getting restricted in TCG or OCG that's not released yet, that's your answer. And looking at the tier list here, in the last month, we could even do post-set, TCG, Rescue Ace #1, but not by far. Now, OCG, last month or post-set, Rescue Ace, also not far, but look at that gap. This is like top 2 decks and then a massive fall off. And I think this is attributed to Max C existing. So you could deduce from this that Rescue Ace and Fire King do well, play well against Max C, and that's why they do so well. Where in TCG, everything, because Max C is not a thing, you could have a spam special summon strategy and not get punished by Max C, like Tearlament, Unchained. Oh, but Tearlament did well in OCG. Yeah, they had a very good play around Max C. It was summon Kick Kalos, set Celiac. That was incredible under Max C. So even a special summon strategy, if they have a simple play under Max C, they will also be good. But I guess that's the issue right now in OCG is they're, you know, for decks like Unchained and Monadium, they don't have those basic plays under Max C. So that does worry me when Max C starts restricting the diversity of the game. I joke that Konami likes to balance Yu-Gi-Oh! Through unbalance. So if something's unbalanced, they create something or release something or allow something even more unbalanced, which is supposed to cancel it out. So that's why Max C apparently is supposed to be balanced in the meta, as it obviously is not doing. Yeah, so this is the last month, as we were seeing, and we could go even further. Let's keep on going. And yeah, I really like the design of this card. I think Rescue Ace is such a great deck of modern game design for Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that should be the direction that the game heads in. This has such cool interactivity because, you know, instead of just special summoning whatever you want from the deck, it requires you to tribute a monster from your hand or field, which is, you would maybe see that as a downside, but it actually makes the game so much more fun and interactive because if they activate, let's say, an impermanence or they want to banish you with some kind of card effect, that's when you chain Emergency to dodge the disruption, dodge the plays. It adds mind games back into Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I think that it's severely lacking at the moment. Bluffing and mind gaming is not as big as it used to be. That is my big criticism, that everyone's just memorizing their combos and flowcharts, and I want to feel like I'm playing my opponent and not playing solitaire at my deck. And Rescue Ace, on top of a card like this, their main boss monster, Turbulence, set 4 from the deck. Why? Oh, how that's toxic. How's that good? It's good because every other deck is doing the same thing, but taking longer to do it. And when you have one card being the main card to disrupt, it also makes the game a lot more accessible and transparent. Okay, this is the card we negate, we stop, and if I don't stop it, they're going to quickly set up their turn 1 in less than 5 minutes, and then it's going to be my turn to play the game. People just want to play the game. That's why I really liked the Extreme Duel of Master Duel, where it was 30 seconds on each turn. I know a lot of people did not like it, but I actually felt like I could log in whenever and play a quick game, which you can't really do today. I feel like I have to have a YouTube video or another game in the off screen. I know I'm ranting like crazy right now, but I really feel like this is the future. Interactivity, quick turn 1s. Yeah, if we're going to have the multiple negates, that's another contentious issue, but this is the way to have it if they're going to have it. All right, enough ranting. That could have been its own video. I'm sorry. Now let's keep on going. We have Rivalry. Speaking of good game design, interactivity, we want to be able to interact with your opponent. I feel like there are multiple pillars that a card game needs to reach to be considered a good card game, and interactivity is one of them. If you can't really interact with your opponent, then the card game is probably bad. And a card like this devolves the game into that, where draw the out or you lose. I hate draw the out or you lose. I want to outsmart my opponent. I want to play around stuff. This is not cool. I don't like this auto-beating decks. It's not a good way to balance the game. And I know Little Timmies, which is a term used in Magic the Gathering as a casual player, it helps Timmies do well. against, I forget what's the opposite of Timmy. I think a Chad or a Tom. I have no idea. You tell me. Let's keep on. Newly Forbidden. Oh, we got bans. All right. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Oh, my. Well, okay. This is interesting. This is directly hitting a deck that really likes to use this card. So let's bring this card up because it's worth talking about. It is all about synchro summoning this on your opponent's turn. And then when it's synchro summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards. Also, cards your opponent controls cannot activate their effects. It just shuts off the entire turn. It's kind of like the true King of Calamity. It's like Kali Yuga in a way, where they use the effect on your turn and then you're screwed. So this is, in a way, a floodgate. So yeah, I would say this is a good thing to restrict. We probably should not have cards like this existing. Right now in Master Duel, we could equate this to the Puppet Lock. I do equate it to that. Puppet Lock shouldn't really be a thing, nor should this. But this really hurts the Centurion deck. Centurion being the main deck abusing this play. Resonator is also, a deck that was playing a little bit. They were actually using E2 of the branded that we did get. But looking at this, let's click OCG decks here. Banned. Yeah, they're 100% were using this card. It looks like that. Everyone was using it. Now, Resonators were liking it because where's the E2 of the branded? There it is. During either player's turn, we did draw phase, standby phase whenever. That's when you would get to summon this. And there's not that much counterplay. All right, so let's hop on over. Actually, if you do play against this, which we did see this, I love that Earl GB is summoning this, even though I'm against this card existing. I'm always about blame the game, not the player. So it is cool that he's abusing it. But if you wanted to counter this, you could, on your own turn, draw phase, activate a card like Cosmic Cyclone onto this right away. Even though Cosmic Cyclone negates this essentially by chaining to it. But if you force them to summon this on Chainlink 2, it actually misses the timing. When this card is summoned, you can. When you can, miss the timing. So a lot of people are actually screwing that up. And all right, let's keep on going back. Where were we? Centurion. They're also playing the Crimson Dragon was another way to get it out. Crimson Dragon, quick effect, target a level 7 or higher synchro, and then you get to special summon a dragon synchro at the same level from your extra deck. So boom. Archfiend Calamity, that was the way to summon it. That's something, one of the ways. Now, let's keep on going back. It's going to hurt the Centurion deck type, which I've been having a lot of fun with. Full changes. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go on over to the Master Duel prediction. It's going to be small. So here we go. We have no comments because it's on the beta website here. All right. I like this. It's kind of simple, making the game more accessible. The True Draco and the Fluanderies, restricting floodgates. That's always a good thing here. And, the Ib, the World Chalice, is kind of questionable. I'm not worried about it breaking the game. It's just, it goes away from what I was saying is good card game design with a deck like Rescue Ace. Like, why? This is old, outdated. We don't want special summon searching 20 times. Can we please stop that? Now, let's go to what the ban list for Master Duel could be. And we're going to be looking at the top cards, official in-game data from Konami. This is what I think they're going to be using the most. The tier list is good and, fairly accurate from tier 2 and above, I'd say. And generally, decks do get hit that are in tier 1/2 if they're old enough. I think Vanquish Soul is too new to get hit. And with that said, Vanquish Soul's got the highest win rate, officially at the highest rank of Master Duel. They don't clarify what that means. I'm assuming it's Master or higher, hopefully not Master 1, because a lot of people just surrender at Master 1 when they don't like their hand. And, oh my God, Pluton HD, is this the best way? That's not what this means. This means that because there's less people playing it, it's probably being played by people that know what they're doing. So, for example, clicking on this card, 2 recent people playing this got first place of 2 different tournaments. Looks like back-to-back the same player. And maybe this dude alone is playing this on the ladder and just clapping fools up, and that's why the win rate's so high. Well, it's not that high. It's a little bit higher than the rest of the deck. So with Vanquish Soul, what could they hit if they were to hit it? Well, they're not going to hit it because it's in the shop, but I do think limiting the Borger to 1 would be the way to do so on a future ban list when Vanquish Soul falls off the shop. Because I do think you should have to commit to searching this card, which funny enough, the Borger, I'm talking about it drawing one card every turn being broken. But if you look at the finisher rank, it's it's top 3 for finishing the game. That means that it's using its effect or attacking for a game, and it's the 3rd most used card for doing so. Because of branded Despia becoming more popular and better with more support, Mirror Jade naturally just going up to the top 4 finisher. Attack for game of Mirror Jade. Now, let's go back to the topic here. So moving on, since I don't think that Vanquish Soul could get hit, we are looking at purely really high win rate. But if we look at the usage rate, this does also need to be considered. Oh, whoa, look at that Bystials jumping up from 23 to 40% on the Magna Hut. That is huge. Any decks that really jump out here, it's hard to say that this is Kashtira because it's so techable. Look at that. Vanquish Soul's using it. Monadium's using it. So what is a specific deck type that we could really point out here? I guess this kind of is one. Yeah, branded Despia being above the 13% usage, which is the cutoff of what they want to show us. And I remember that Purely was on here. They were higher than 13% win rate. They're now less than 13% win rate. I also remember MathMech. MathMech was on the usage of above 13%, which also fell after Diameter being hit. So is that going to be taken into consideration for hits on the next ban list? And I do think it will. So let's go back on over to the win rate. And with that said, I don't think Purely is going to get hit. Even though it has such a high win rate, and according to Konami, this is, their official tier list, essentially, Vanquish Soul and Purely being the top 2 decks, I feel like barely anyone is using this deck, and they're just doing very well with it. Sometimes we're going to see some weird things like Infinite Track, okay? Is it time to nerf Infinite Track? There's probably 5 dudes in the ladder just clapping cheeks with this, and that's why it's high up here. So we do need to take that into consideration. Going on, this is Retaliating Sea, seeing so much use is very interesting. Okay. It's actually pretty good against Purely. They activate the Purely spell to summon, you then summon this, and then now their Purely cards getting banished. Very nice. And so no Purely hits, I'm not predicting that. What I am going to be predicting is, as we can see here, we start seeing some floodgates. Now, there could be only one is also being used in Vanquish Soul, in addition to Stun. So even though, we just looked at the OCG ban list where they only put this to 2, but still, even with that, it was disappointing because I want to see this go to 1, for the meme and for the health of the game. This is still a very real possibility, actually. I changed my mind. I think that this could go to 1, but I'm getting a little too biased here. It's not even a real prediction. It's just what I want. So, whatever. I'm just going to say, probably not going to happen. I want it to happen. But what do I do think will happen? I will predict, because this is a problem. Why is Stun doing this well? It should not be doing this well. I think that a big card in Stun is for, let's see this. Click on Runic Stun. I think that a card to hit is Card of Demise. Card of Demise is something, and it would be the 1-year anniversary of it being hit last year. Just limit to 1 or ban this card. It should not exist. There you go. Stun deck using it also. Pure Stun or Runic Stun. It's not okay. This is really, draw 3 cards. That's ridiculous. It's a blowout. You lose the duel if this resolves draws 3, and that should not happen. So, yeah. Limit to 1 or ban. I do think that's going to be the way to hit Stun. Let's keep on going. What else is high on the win rate if we want to be predicting? We see some Rocket Chad playing the Magna Rocket Dragon. This is not that high usage, but Triple Burst Dragon. That's quite closely tied to Dragon Link. I do think Dragon Link's going to get hit. And I think a lot of people would jump on over to the obvious prediction, which would be hitting the Chaos Ruler because it's banned in TCG, banned in OCG. Guess what else is banned in OCG and TCG and they did not hit in Master Duel? Kid Kalos. Want another one? Sprite Elf. And I'm sure there are others. So this actually isn't an easy, obvious prediction. It's being used by other decks that aren't Dragon Link. I think there'd be a lot of collateral damage here. It also kind of got some new support with using the Dispater, and it could be fun with the Assault Synchron. So maybe they don't want to hit Chaos Ruler. So how else do we hit Chaos Ruler? Well, Chaos Space was restricted in TCG first, then in Master Duel. So that was a nice little predictive hit of what could be happening. Would they further hit this? I don't think so. I think there's 3 cards I have my eye on. And I talked about this on stream. A lot of people did not believe that Bamboozling Shadow could be hit. The Bamboozling Shadow was a way to hit the Rongo. And everyone kept saying, no, just hit Rongo. Well, they eventually did that, but I predicted that they could hit this instead. I don't know if they took my prediction and used it as a suggestion and did that, but that was a wild prediction that happened. And I don't know if you know where I'm going with this. Then, even crazier was Celestial. No one saw Celestial getting banned besides me. I said this could get banned and DPE would become a lot less prevalent, and that's exactly what they did. They banned this, everyone got surprised, and they all said that I had insider info on the ban list. So are you ready for more insider info? I predict something wild that you wouldn't see coming. Because another thing that was from left fields, it was like, what is Konami doing? This didn't get hit in TCG and or OCG. Absol Router banned. Yup, I think they could do that. The Triforce being Tracer, Launch, and Absol Router. They could probably restrict Launch further to 1 or hit the Tracer to 1, or they could ban the Absol Router. That would be a wild hit. And why is this deck a problem? Well, it's pretty accessible and, but you said it's good for the game. Not when it's costing them money. People are playing Dragon Link over other decks that are similar, which, special summon a lot, like Monadium. Monadium still doesn't have the full support, and it is more expensive. And I think if you ask any person that knows of Dragon Link and Monadium, you'd say, what deck should I build? Well, of course you should build Dragon Link. Monadium is more expensive and a worse deck. So I think to sell Monadium, they're going to hit the Dragon Link. And the Abs Router, that's going to be the hit. So far we hit Dragon Link. Vanquish Soul's too new to hit. But, technically we kind of said that there could be only one could go to 1, possibly. Now, what about Branded Despia? This one's a bit difficult because it did get a lot of new support. Branded Fusion at Unlimited in TCG. That is wild. Now, Lubellion being limited to 1, the deck's already all playing 1, majorly. And what I do think a hit they could do that I could see happening is opening to 1. Brand opening just got better. You normally use opening to just summon Alubur, but now summoning Quem is also very good. Normal summon Alubur, special Quem. You may even end phase Quem. So a lot of people, from what I've been experiencing and myself, Albion in the Grave, end phase, toggle on, search opening, activate opening in the end phase. You don't want to special summon Alubur in the end phase. That's trash. You summon Quem in the end phase, send from the deck a card, and then it could reborn Albaz during the opponent's turn, or reborn Cartesia, or reborn your Mirror Jade. That's big, and I do think that this could be a good candidate to just, go to 1. What the heck, 10% playing 0? That's wild. Let me look at that real quick. So a good way to check something like that, branded opening. We've actually been struggling a little bit with naming some decks, because something like this is probably not really branded, but it is. See, it has Branded Fusion, but it's not like a true branded deck. It doesn't even have Alubur. What the heck do we call this? I don't know. It's listed under branded for now, and just deal with it. Now, let's keep on going for more predictions. So, opening to 1, Absol Router banned. There could be only 1 to 1. Kashtira, I just don't see them hitting the deck. I feel like the deck is in a healthy spot. We got the pseudo floodgate on a Rise Heart. Everything's banished, which helps play against decks like Dragon Link and also Branded Despia, and how popular the Bestial cards are that don't really do much against Kashtira. I just feel like this is in a healthy spot. Deck is not that toxic. If they were to hit anything that I would want, if we move away from predicting, wish list, just limit to 1 or ban the shifter. I don't like the auto win of that. That's not cool. Setting up a Rise Heart and I have to out it, then my cards are no longer banished. That is a lot more healthy. That's a lot better. Now, funny enough, we were talking about this as if the Infinite Track players are playing this. I didn't really put much thought into it, but hey, Kashtira's playing it. There you go. And what else could really be hit? Do you think I'm missing anything? I don't think anything. Well, Labyrinth, again, to wish list, not prediction. The Eradicator and Dimensional Barrier have no place in this game. I think that they should be removed. They're not good. We really should work towards making Master Duel different than TCG and OCG. embrace the fact that we don't have a side deck, and just remove the toxicity nonsense. So who needs this? No one needs this. Get out of here. Just ban skill drain also. Why not? Now I'm getting too wild. We're not predicting. But I think beyond that, we also card a demise. So that is going to be the end of my predictions. Besides, they're going to unlimit the IB. Well, it's going to go to 1 probably. And then maybe Sky Striker Engage going to 3 would be great. And there you go. Another good statistic to look at is win rate when summoned. This is essentially what's the win rate of these decks when they don't brick. So when Fluandereeze does not brick, it's got a 76% win rate. And if it doesn't brick and their hand is even a little bit better, where they also get to summon the Apex Avian, the win rate goes up by an additional 3%. So that is wild. Very nice. And if any deck that's resolving the Auroradon, probably going up to that 78% win rate there. Very nice. Summoning Dispater, you're going to now win the game. That's crazy. Some awesome stuff here. Some great analytics. Average battle damage, I don't like. What is this? Why? Why do we care about that? What do you mean? What do you mean average battle damage? This is getting dropleted or something? And then, how is this helpful? Anyway, that's the end of the video. How long is this video? Oh my gosh, 41 minutes. Well, you're going to let me know if you like this or not. Also, let me know if you're okay with really short casual videos. I was thinking about making an entirely new channel to upload stuff onto that, but then no one's probably going to watch it. But then, there's a fear that if you're uploading short videos on your main channel that people are going to unsub because you're spamming the channel. I really don't know. The answer to all of YouTube is that no one knows what's going on. Everyone's copying everyone. We're trying to just all figure things out. And, for example, I'd like to make a video about this card. This is a board breaker. And in case I make a video, I'm not going to talk about it. But I do have some things to say about it, but probably not 4 to 8 minutes worth or even 10 minutes. And are you cool with that or not? You let me know. Now, this video has been long enough. I appreciate you all greatly. I can't speak anymore. Thank you very much. We are out. I'm going to be streaming again on Sunday, which we're going to have a final January pack leak. It's going to be a deck type that does not exist in Master Duel. So what's an example of a deck that already exists? Gate Guardian technically already existed. Super Heavy Samurai technically already existed. Unchained already exists, so it can't be that. Rescue Ace already exists, can't be that. You know. Nemrulia didn't exist, and I released that. So now I'm going to be giving you another deck that does not exist on Sunday. So thank you very much. We are out.